Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at DOT, and before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but we're going to skip that altogether. I'm just going to make a separate video here today for time's sake. Now, regarding DOT, just before we jump in there, I want you to know I'm not a financial advisor, first of all. I love teaching people how to trade. Hopefully you can learn a thing or two here today. I have a trading community and a trading academy rolling out next month, and very excited for that. So be on the lookout for that, of course. Not currently a member, consider joining. New slots available on the 1st. We're currently at our max occupancy for the moment. Now, looking here at DOT, a couple things to note. First of all, as a community, of course, we have a swing traded position open. We got in closer to about 25, and 35 is our target. And you'll notice that target is just below a major key level Fibonacci retracement line. And we do that often as a community to ensure that we lock in profits. Now, taking a look here, of course, we're coming up to another key level resistance at about $31. So we'll see how the price action responds to that. But for now, looking at the moving averages, we're up over the 200-day simple moving average. You can see it finally broke through. 3 days in a row, it tested and rejected. Couldn't pass it, but now we're past, which is fantastic. The 50 days working its way down. Keep in mind that could potentially, provide us with a death cross, as they refer to it as, where the 50 intersects with the 200 in a downward fashion, pushing the price down. But we'll see when we get there. I'm not a big proponent for the death cross and golden cross. I prefer more so a MACD convergence, but it's the same concept, right? A moving average intersecting with another in an upward or downward fashion effectively results in some cases in a push to the opposite direction. So that being said, we're looking here at not bad shape at all. Looking at the RSI, we're back up over 50 right now too, so we can get our 1-day candlestick today essentially to close closer to where it's at or even higher. We'll be well above 50 on the RSI, giving us that bullish continuation, knowing that we are on the right side of the tracks. So all good stuff there for DOT. DOT is effectively out of the doghouse for now. Now, looking at the 4-hour chart, this is awesome. Look at this. We're testing the 200-day simple moving average. 50 is trailing behind, and this is effectively a very good sign. Now, I like the 4-hour chart for the simple moving average, the 50 and the 200, because it seems to work the most consistent with price action, and the 200 is a very consistent resistance level. So the fact that we're kind of pushing through that right now is a good sign. Don't get me wrong, we're not fully closed above that yet. It's still a little premature, but if we can get that to stay in the range of just say 30 to 31 or 32 in the near future, we'll be in really good shape to consider that a support level. We're just testing 70 on the RSI, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a slight pullback here soon just based on that sentiment, but that doesn't necessarily mean the price is going to retrace by any means. We've also got a MACD convergence here too. So this is a very good sign. We got that MACD convergence here, and that occurred roughly 5 hours ago. So really good stuff here, of course. So let's go ahead and mark that actually and kind of see what that looks like on the Ichimoku cloud on the 1 hour. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. So we got a break above the cloud, which is excellent. Check number 1. Lagging span is free of any price action. Of course, we got the conversion line above the baseline. So we got all positive indications here of a buy signal. So this is usually what I refer to as a double rainbow. My members will probably get a laugh at this because I say it oftentimes, but if you're new to the channel, a double rainbow to me is just when you get a MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart and you get a price above the cloud on the 1 hour. We've got both things happening. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but had we got in right here, right as soon as the Ichimoku cloud price broke through, then that would have been a case in point where we would have been able to obviously maximize our gains here. Now, we already have a swing trade position open right now, so it's not that bad. Most of us in our community are probably open and taking profits at 35, but for the most part, if you're just now starting off with DOT, it's just now taking off, right? So I think the likelihood of it continuing much further is very high. If we look at its history, you can see it did very well, upwards of about $55 at its highest point, breaking its previous all-time high. But it's just been on a downtrend since Bitcoin has been selling off, right? Bitcoin stabilizing a little bit further right now, and bouncing off a key level support at 49,500. We're doing really good here for DOT, kind of getting that affirmation and that confirmation we're heading in the right direction again. We're on the right side of the tracks, as you'll hear me say multiple times. So all in all, really good stuff here. I like to see this. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at TD sequential, see if we're at a 9, which we are. That makes sense considering we're at 70 on the RSI on the 4-hour, right? Oftentimes you see an RSI at 70 on the 4-hour chart. You can expect to be close to a 9 on the 1-hour chart because that's just how TD sequential works. It basically tells you we've got 9 hours of bullish momentum, and the likelihood of a pullback and or a consolidation is very high. In other words, the fact that we're consolidating right here at this resistance level, we shouldn't expect it to blast through there. I have noticed some coins do that sometimes, but it's more likely for a price to kind of hang out right at resistance and continue to get rejected, for lack of better terms, when it's maxed out already. Because you got to understand, the last 9 hours, the bulls have taken control, right? The bears are conceding, so to speak. Therefore, we're letting the price action kind of relax here. And we'll see soon, of course, if the bears want to take their profits or if they're okay with letting the bulls push further. And once that happens, we'll see, of course, what establishes right here at 31. But $31 is essentially a major resistance level for now. Could, in fact, and very well should become a new support once it's broken above. Just note that we're at a, again, we're at a 9 right now, so the likelihood of pushing through there is less likely because it's kind of almost out of gas and it needs to recharge, right? So same thing as, running a marathon. You got to kind of calm down and relax. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to maintain that consistency. We need a little bit of consistency sideways here, of course, and a little breathing room, a nice little nap, so to speak, for Dot. Maybe get a good 5 to 10 hours worth of sideways action, and then we could blast through that resistance up. Okay, so again, that's just kind of what could and should happen. There's no guarantees, of course. Cryptocurrency has a tendency of surprising all of us, right? So we just kind of gotta hold on strong, right? But the key here is that the Ichimoku cloud is not giving us any kind of sell signals just yet. We've got another 9 hours left before we need to reevaluate that, or maybe just say even 12 hours. And at that point, we can understand that. So I'll keep this on my radar, of course. If we see any major significant changes, I'll go ahead and update you. But for now, I think DOT is in pretty good shape, all things considered, and we shouldn't expect a significant correction. I would say probably more so sideways. If it does come back down, we might see somewhere in the range of $29 to establish that higher low, right? If we can continue higher highs and higher lows, we'll be just fine. And it's proven to consistently be doing that recently. Okay, so that is also synonymous with Bitcoin's behavior. This is a very similar move to what Bitcoin's doing. So again, my confidence here in DOT is coming from Bitcoin doing fairly well and staying in good shape. Obviously, the next 24 hours, we're going to see what happens with the whales being back in business, so to speak, right? In fact, here soon, we're going to see them starting to affect the price action. But for the moment, we're doing really good, and we got to celebrate that, right? So I'd say hold on and don't consider taking profits just yet. I think there's still more gas left in the tank for DOT. But on the small term picture, we're going to expect the price to kind of consolidate and then leg up in the next 24 hours. That's my speculation. So I hope that works out well, and I hope you find benefit here today, of course. If you do, comment below. If not, that's okay too. Consider joining my Patreon community once more. We are transitioning over to a website platform next month, but between now and then, of course, spots will become available January 1st, 2022. Feels weird to say that, right? 22? It's going to be a good year. I hope we all have a good one and wish you all the best. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.